back, everybody. On deck today for review, we have the new Manticore Tavor Forend. Obviously, as you can see there, it allows for use of rails. It also allows for an interior light, which we'll talk about later in the review, but also one on the outside as well if you choose to do so. But it addresses probably the biggest con of the gun that I talked about in my initial Tavor review, which is accessory mounting. It was very difficult with the original design. This sucker here solves that problem, but we'll get more into it coming up next, guys. I removed the forend from the rifle so that way you can get a better look at it and just kind of go over some of the basic details of it. As you see here on the outside, it does have a Type 3 hard coat anodizing. And before I go any further, I guess I should say what ARClight stands for. ARClight stands for Advanced Rail Chassis Lightweight. And there's two versions of it available. Essentially, the naked version is just the forend that you see here. Nothing else comes with it. Just the naked forend, and then you have the loaded version. The loaded version comes with everything you can see here, all mounting hardware, all tools, 2 rails. I believe this is a 5 slot and this is an 11 slot rail. Of note, one thing you want to take note of is these rails, the factory Manticore rails, are lugged. So if you're going to be using anything like a laser that requires return to 0, you're going to want to make sure that you go ahead and pick up the loaded version, so that way you get the lugged rails that fit right in there perfectly. If you guys don't want to do that and aren't using something like that, the naked option may be an option that you want to look at. You do not have to use these rails with this this forend. You can use Magpul polymer MOE rails, as well as most of the impact weapons components, mountain slot rails and accessories do work in here as well. Installation of the forend is very simple. All you do is remove the screws up here in your Tavor handguard, pull it down and remove it. Now those screws are Loctited on there, so it may take a little bit of force to get them off. A little heat never hurts there as well. And you take your ARClight rail. I went ahead and mocked up what it would look like with flashlight, just for those of you guys that plan on using it that way. I recommend you put all of your accessories on there first. So if you want to put your rails on there, go ahead and put those on. If you want to put your light in there, your tape switch, etc., put those on. And just go ahead and line this little slot right here up. You're going to line that up with the corresponding slot right here on your rifle. Like so. It's always easier when you're not doing it on camera. And go ahead and get that in there. Let me do it this way. It'll probably make it a little easier for me. Go ahead and get that lined up. And you're going to take your original screws and just screw it in on both sides until they're snug. I forgot to mention a couple things so far. First up is going to be weight. Being named the ARClight, you want to know how much it weighs. It comes in right at 4 ounces, so it is going to keep that lightweight front end of your Tavor intact. And the cost. The cost for the naked model is going to come in right around $165, and the loaded model is going to come in right around $225. Really, I like it a lot overall. It fixes the main problem with the Tavor, which I mentioned earlier, and I mentioned in the original Tavor review. Being able to work with accessories without the use of a tape switch. Obviously, you can still use the tape switch if you choose to do so. I'm not a fan, so I'm going to leave it out and run with WML for now. But you can mount up any kind of accessories that you want there. Vertical foregrips, as you guys saw, lights, lasers, what have you. Have at it, and you're going to be good there. There are also a couple other models coming out. Obviously, this is the Flat Dark Earth Tavor. They are coming out with the Flat Dark Earth model soon. Also coming out with some longer models for a little bit more hand space out front, and coming out with models that will work with the 18-inch barrel a little bit better, because that lug is going to prevent some lights from being used underneath the barrel. All in all, though, great product. Another great product from Manticore Arms. I do recommend it. I like it a lot, and it will be staying on the Tavor for sure. If you guys have any questions about this review, anything else I talk about here on the channel, you can feel free to post below in the comments section. You can also post over at my Facebook page. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I hope to see you in the next video.